Hey guys, and welcome to episode 20 of Surg's single-player survival series, Season 1. I was just tending to my cactuses. I don't have a lot of need for cactus, so I don't really need to automate it just yet. And if you remember last episode, we were setting up these deep storage units, and I have one set up for apples, one set up for saplings, and one set up for oak wood. Now, as I said last episode, these here I'm not really going to set up because I'm only going to let it run for so long. Because once we have a good amount of the rubber here, I won't need to run it all the time. Now, I do have all of the pipes that I need. You guys have seen me make logistics chassis and supplier pipes and basic logistics, and I mean, this is nothing new. So I figured I'd make it before I started the episode, so that way the episode isn't just making the modules and the pipes. And I want to change up this system. So here is my oak saplings, and here's my wood, and I want to grab one of each. So one sapling, one wood. And I actually want to come down here. And I already have these run with the transfer nodes here, but I want to change that up. So let's go ahead and remove these. And I probably want to go down one more, so that way I can get back here. And let's go ahead and just set right here. Here's our planter. So on our planter, I want to take one of my suppliers, and I want to put it right here. And I want to tell it to go ahead and keep, we'll just say, a stack of oak saplings. So we just get it up to 64, and then I'm going to tell it go ahead and partial. So that means that it will keep up to a stack. And if it doesn't have a stack, which it should at all times, because there's a whole bunch in there, but if it doesn't have a stack, then it will put whatever it can in there. Now, what we also need to do is we need to get to our base here. So if we keep going this direction, there's our power. And I should, oh, nope, I didn't want to do that. That's my blast furnace. So I should be able to come in right here. And there's a basic logistics pipe. So we should be able to just connect right here. I don't want that connecting, so I'm probably going to need some pipe plugs. Let me go grab those, and I'll be right back. Okay, so now I have some pipe plugs, and we should be able to just go ahead and throw them right here, and hook that up, do a pipe plug there too, and just do regular, basic pipes all the way down this way. And when we get to there, it connects, and we should be able to come all the way to here, where I want to put a logistics chassis Mark II. What did it just throw my way? Why is it throwing saplings my way? Oh, because I have an intersection there. So let's put a basic chassis pipe right here. And then from there, we can go ahead and do the basic stone. And then right here, I'm going to do a chassis Mark II. And go ahead and configure this with a item sync and a provider. And the provider, I can just leave it as normal inventory because, well, you know what, just in case. We'll leave it as one item per type. So at the very worst, it should leave one sapling in here. And what we can do is for the item sync, tell it saplings are allowed to go in here. Now, with the deep storage units, you can pump into the bottom. So it's not like the barrels where you can't. So we can go ahead and remove this here too. And do the exact same thing. So we have our Logistics Chassis Mark II. And our provider and item sync. And I'm going to set this the same way. Leave one item per type, so it'll leave one piece of wood. And item sync module for oak wood. So the nice thing is, now that we have some crafting recipes that require wood, it knows where to get it. But we don't want to stop there. We want this to connect down to the steam oven as well. So we should be able to just go right through here. And this is just a maze of pipes down here. And right there. And that's where I want to put my supplier. So we'll just remove that, put our supplier. And then we can tell it to supply oak wood. And I'm going to tell it, same thing, just one stack. We don't need to keep this completely full of wood. There we go. One stack. And I'll tell it to keep it partial. So if we don't have a full stack, it'll just go ahead and request what it can. And we should be able to just snake it right back down this way. And then right here, I'm going to go ahead and put a basic logistic and connect it up. So let me go ahead and hop out of here. And if we take all of our wood out, it should go ahead and put one stack of the oak in here. Yep. So I'm going to go ahead and clean some of this up, and I'll be right back and we're getting to the next part of the build for today. So I cleaned everything up, and I've been letting it run for a little while, just to make sure that everything's working the way that it should, and it's keeping one stack of wood. Now, obviously it's creating a whole bunch of charcoal, but our steam boiler is just working like it should, and I actually went and added 2 of the hobbyist steam engines here, just because we weren't using all of the steam. And you can see our industrial steam engines are still at 8 MJ. I've also been processing a lot of fuel, and what I found out is when I go over to where my pump is, everything works just fine over there, and it'll actually transport the oil over here. But when I'm standing over here, for some reason it's not pumping it. So, even with a chunk loader over there. So I don't know what's going on, but I ended up putting a couple more tanks here. And they're real easy to make. It's just a little bit of glass. And so I put those there so that way when I run over to pump the oil out, I can stand there for a little while until the ender tank fills up completely, and that means that I have 100 buckets of oil here. I've also been letting my fuel process, and it's for something a little bit later. We're going to be using some of it this episode, but if we look here, we now have a lot of fuel, and it's going up pretty quickly. So we are not going to run out of fuel anytime soon. So now, what I'd like to do is, now that we have this system in place for doing our metals, and we have a decent sorting system. I mean, we have to keep an eye on some things we might, fill up. But now that we have most of the infrastructure in place, let's look at getting a quarry. And I'll just throw these in here. So, a quarry. let's go ahead and pull up, I believe it's Buildcraft. Not BC Builders, BC Factory. So, Quarry. So we're going to need a couple of iron gears, 2 gold gears, 2 diamond gears, and a diamond pickaxe. Now, I know I taught my system how to make stone gears, so that'll at least help us there. So let's go ahead and get, what do we need, 5? We're also going to need a good amount of iron, so we might as well just go ahead and get, I don't know, 40 iron. We're going to need a little bit of gold, so let's get 20 gold and a couple of diamonds, so let's get 16 should do it. Okay, so we can take these. Now let's see how many we need. Nope, not the mining well, the quarry. 1, 2, 3, 4, so that's 6, and then we need 7. So we're going to need 2 more stone gears. So we might as well wait on those just a second before we go and convert them all to iron gears, because the way that the progression works is they all have to be iron, and then we can turn some of the iron into gold, and then some of the gold into diamonds. So that'll give us all of our iron gears. Now, we are using a good little bit of iron to do that, but it's gonna be worth it. We need all of these to be gold gears, and then we need 2 of those to be diamond gears. We're also going to need a few sticks, so let's go ahead and request those. To make a pickaxe, a diamond pickaxe. And a piece of redstone. Last thing we need. Just 1. And we should be able to go and put it all together. And I believe it was like that. Gold gears, and then diamond gears. And we get our quarry. Now we're going to need a couple things for the quarry. One, we're going to need a way to power it. We're also going to need some way to transport items. And, you know, I was looking here, I was looking here at my Ender Pearl chest, or my Mobs Drops chest, and I was thinking, you know what, we made a Tesseract, or most of a Tesseract, last episode, to make our deep storage units. Well, we can go ahead and make some more Tesseracts, and we can use a Tesseract to actually go ahead and deal with everything. Now, we can go ahead and make more Ender Pearls with Mimikite, but what it does is it gives us Ender Pearl dust. And then the Ender Pearl dust, we just go just like this, and we get another Ender Pearl. So it doesn't give us quite 2. It's almost. So let's see how many of these we can get. Now the nice thing is every couple that we make, oh, you know what? I might as well just go and grab the rest of my Ender Pearls here. And that way I can just turn it all into dust. Because that'll help quite a bit. And then we can just go and put them all together. So 9 Ender Pearls. Now we're using a lot of our Mimikite, but we are going to need a good amount of Ender Pearls. 16. So that's how many we're going to need. Now, just because I want to make sure that I have just a couple of extras, let's go ahead and just make those. And we can keep the extra Ender Pearl dust. So I should be able to just throw this all right back in here. Now the Ender Pearls will probably end up in my default route because I don't have a one in here telling it that's where it goes. So what I'm going to do, just to save a little bit on time, is I'm going to go ahead and make another or two Tesseract frames. You guys seen me make them last episode. There's no reason to go through making them on camera again this episode. So I'm going to go ahead and get that done. Nice thing, I already have some pyrotheum. I might have to make another blaze powder with my magma crucible with redstone and glowstone, but you guys have seen that too. So I'll go ahead and make at least the frames, and I'll be right back. So I now have my Enderium ingots, and I should have everything that I need to make 2 Tesseract frames. And I already have the Ender Pearls here melted up, so we can go ahead and throw these in here, and they'll create our full Tesseract frames. Now, there's a little bit of things that I need to still do to get everything working the way that I want. I'm going to need a wooden transport pipe. I made an autarkic gate. I'm probably going to need a gold chest works. And we're going to need at least 1 logistics pipe. So we might as well grab those. And we're going to need, well, let's see. Actually, I might have some item ducts. I do. I have a couple of item ducts and a pneumatic servo just in case. So then we won't even really need this, the logistics. So we can throw those away for right now. Let's go check on our frames here, are nice and full. And what we can do is take our frames. We need to take silver and go just like so, and then bronze around the outside. And that'll get us Tesseracts. And we need 2 of them because they kind of link together. And the way that I want to set it up is down here I have my power coming in right there. So you can see there the golden kinesis pipe, and that's what I want to see if I can transfer through the Tesseract. So let's go right here, and yeah, that should work. We should be able to put 1 kinesis pipe here, and then put our Tesseract down right here. And I'm just gonna say, we'll just call this base. Whoops. Oh, we'll just do frequency 1 and we'll call it base MJ. And check. Now, what that'll do is basically we can configure this to send and receive different things. I want it to send energy, and I don't need it to receive energy. So I just want it to send energy. Fluid, I don't care about, but I want it to receive items. And the way that I want this to work is we should be able to put a chest right here and our item duct right here. Now we are going to have to wrench this to output mode, and I don't know if I'm going to need a pneumatic servo or not. But what it'll do is any items it receives should automatically go into this chest, and then from this chest, I don't want that connecting. I need a pipe plug. From the chest, I want it to go into my system. Basically, just like it was a extraction pipe, except for, you know, I don't need to make a Mark 1 and set it up. No. Redstone signal off, energy pulse. But I don't want to go and make another Mark 1 and then have to make another extraction module. This autarkic gate works just fine. So let's test it out. Let's see. What Well, we have some items here. Let's go ahead and grab some of this stuff out. We'll just leave a bucket. So, let's see how many buckets we have. We have 2. So if I go and put my other tesseract right here, and let's grab one more item duct, and we'll set that up between the chest and the tesseract, and I set this one. Did I not save that frequency? Let's see. No, I didn't. So it's frequency 1, base MJ, add for frequency 1. There we go. So now it's added to the list. And then this one we can just select base MJ, set the frequency, and we wanted to tell it to go ahead and receive everything. That's fine. And then here we can go ahead and wrench this, throw our pneumatic servo right here, and tell this to ignore redstone signal, and it should take that bucket and pump it into our tesseract. Do it. Oh, let me sleep real quick. This should, oh, it's receiving all. We want to send items. There we go. Now the bucket gets sucked out. And if we go downstairs real quick, we should see the bucket get pulled out. There it is. So it is working. So we don't need a pneumatic servo there. That's perfect. Now, it's going to be slow going through the system, so maybe we might want to do an extraction. Yeah, let me go ahead and do that. I'm going to get a Mark 1 and get an extraction module and set that up. Okay, so there we go. So I have a Mark 1 sitting here with an extractor, and I actually made the extractor Mark 2, so that way it'll pull out even faster. We might need to do a Mark 3, because the quarry will quarry up items pretty quickly, especially with the amount of power that I plan on giving it. So now we should have everything we need. We have the quarry and we have our tesseract, and that'll take care of power and items for us. Now I just need to worry about where to put it. Now, as a rule of thumb, I like to put it over water, and just for a couple of reasons. One, if you build it over water, then the water flows down, and any lava it encounters makes obsidian, and I can always use obsidian. So that's number 1. Number 2, I don't have a big hole in the landscape then. It's just a big hole in the ocean floor. It's not as noticeable. Now, the problem is building over water. But if we go to extra utilities, it gives us a block that'll help us with that. The angel block. So I'm going to need 2 feathers, a piece of obsidian, and a piece of gold. Well, I should have that. It says I only have 1 feather, but I know I have 2. So let's get the piece of obsidian, the piece of gold, and I'll just go ahead and grab my feathers right out of here. See, I did have 2. And we'll go ahead and throw them all in here, just like so. And it'll give us the angel block. Now, the way that the angel block works, say we're flying around, we can place it anywhere, literally. Even in the air. And if we break it, it goes right back into our inventory, and it only takes 1 hit to break. So it makes building in places like over water a lot easier. So let's go ahead and grab, let's just say a stack of cobblestone. And let me see what time it is, because I don't want to head out when it's too late. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and grab my cobblestone here. I'm going to go ahead and wait for it to become night, sleep through the night, and then probably head out in that direction. I know there's some swamps. And I'll meet you guys out there, and we'll set everything up for our quarry. Okay, looks like right here looks like a nice enough spot. So let's go ahead and plop our angel block down. And then we can go ahead and build on top of this. Let's go ahead and pick it back up. And I'm just going to build just a little platform here. And I brought a couple torches just to make sure that nothing spawns right here either. Now, you know what? Let's go ahead and just build it a little bit more. Just a little bit. And we'll put another torch there. Now, some of you might have been thinking, you know, Surg, you forgot markers. And I was thinking about that. I don't really want to use markers right now because I don't know how my system's going to handle a quarry. So I don't want to make a huge 64 by 64 quarry and then my system not be able to handle it and I have problems. So right now I'm just going to plop it down and make the smallest quarry possible. Basically, I think it's 16 by 16. It's like one chunk. We can go ahead and throw our tesseract down right next to it. And we're set this to send items, and we don't care about fluid. We want it to send items and receive energy. And when we tell this to go, it should, in theory, start receiving energy. I wonder if MJ can't go. MJ should be able to go through tesseracts, right? Maybe it can't directly output. So let's pick this up. Oh no! I'm gonna go grab some pipes and we'll give this another go. Okay, seems like the changes to Thermal Expansion 3 don't allow me to do it the exact way that I have it set up. And I should be able to see that here. If I go just right up here and we open this up. Now I couldn't see it before, but see, it's not connected. So we actually want to take this away because kinesis pipes no longer connect to tesseracts. But there is a way for us to fix this. One, we don't need this kinesis pipe. Now what we can do is we can use nodes. Now I am going to need some more ender pearls, so it's a good thing that I went and made a couple of extras. So let's make another transfer node. So I'm going to need another chest, some smooth stone, a pipe. Oh, we'll just request everything here. I should have a couple of pipes. So let's go ahead and get 2 of those. And some stone. We'll get 2 of those. A little bit of redstone. And we have our ender pearl. And we're just waiting on our redstone here. There it is. And we should be able to... Oh, we also need a chest. And I think we need 1 more redstone. And let's just request a chest. And while we're doing that, I should have 2 transfer nodes that I can go ahead and request already. And I might as well request about 10 more redstone. So let's go ahead and make 1 transfer node, or 2, since it makes 2. And then what I want is an energy transfer node. So I'm going to need a couple of gold. Whoops. And my jetpack is done charging up. Let's grab that gold. And we're going to need a block of redstone. 4 transfer nodes and 4 pieces of gold. Gets us an energy transfer node. Now this we should be able to use in conjunction down here. Let's go ahead and just hop right up here, and we should be able to put this right down and have it connect directly to our Tesseract. So this will basically convert the MJ that's coming in the pipe here to redstone flux and pump the redstone flux into the Tesseract. So just a minor change, but basically the same system. And just because I should already have them, let's grab some item ducts and a pneumatic. I don't know if we're going to need a pneumatic servo, but let's grab them anyway. You know what? I don't like those item ducts. Let's grab... let's make another item duct. Since we have the hardened glass, we just need some tin and hardened glass. So just one piece of hardened glass and 2 pieces of tin. And that'll make us opaque, or not opaque, transparent item ducts. So we can see what's going through them. Now we should be able, I have some leadstone energy cell, or energy conduit. Now we should be able to head right out to where our quarry is. And it's right out this direction, and I'll meet you over there. Okay, so now we should be able to put our Tesseract right here, grab our leadstone energy conduit, go ahead and throw that down in the middle. Ah, see, there we go. Now we have power. And we're going to put our item ducts just like so. And go ahead and wrench this. And I'm going to give this a minute to finish creating, and I'll be right back. Okay, so looks like the item ducts don't work. So let's pull those off real quick, and it's just going to spew items for just a second. And we'll grab these golden transport pipes. Now these should work. There we go. So there we go. So it should start sending all of these items. Yep, sending items back to our base. Let's go ahead and head back there and make sure that our system's dealing with everything. So there we go. Looks like everything's being pulled out of the chest here from our extractor module, being sent all around our network, and obviously right now we're getting more cobblestone and dirt and sand than anything. And the way that it's set up is, since the dirt's full, if we get any more dirt, it's just gonna go right into the trash can. Same thing with the cobble. Now, because this is episode 20, I will be doing a world upload at the end of this episode. And that's why one of the reasons that I wanted to build a small quarry is because if you want to go ahead and move where it is, you know, I don't want to put a hole in your landscape when you download the world. So, looks like everything's running properly. I'm going to keep an eye on this between this episode and next. I hope you guys enjoyed, and with that, I will see you guys later.